Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Cantina Social Hour, first show of 2026, now in its sixth year on YouTube. What's up, you guys? Been a long time. It is great to be back. Gosh, what's up? What's up? Feels nice to do this. I think our last show was like December 21st-ish, something like that. So we took a good, much needed break and recharged the batteries. We're back, and we are dang excited to be here with new vibes and new energy. So thank you guys for tuning in and being with me tonight, hanging out here in the cantina. All the cantinians chatting away. I can see there. So thank you guys for being here. Thanks for hanging out on your Thursday evening. What's new? What's new? Well, let's talk about what's new here. So first of all, the Cantina Awakens. I mean, this is the return, as I was saying. We're back to talk toys and collectibles. Brand new season of new guests coming into the show. Some familiar faces, some new faces who will be joining us for the first time throughout the next coming shows. So I'm really excited for you guys to meet some new folks and to see some of your returning champions here to the Cantina. Yeah, but my 2026 is off to a pretty good start. It's very busy with work, very busy with school, very busy with all kinds of things. I'm just hanging in there, and I'm doing my best. But things are well. Got sick a couple weeks ago, but I think I'm on kind of at the end of it now, about 90% over it. And a good thing it didn't happen closer to showtime, because we wouldn't have wanted that at all. And let's see what else. Celebrated a birthday a couple of weeks ago, and also I've just been I've been a little bit zoned out from collecting as I've been on this hiatus, because I think we all need that every little while, just to kind of take a break. And my break was like all around like YouTube, and I was a little bit on Instagram, but not so much. And it was really well worth it. But now we are here back in the trenches. And what else have I done? So I went to the Walt Disney Studios. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw my post about 2 weeks ago. And I was able to do a tour of the studios. And I know I've mentioned this before, but Walt Disney is one of my heroes. I absolutely look up to him. He's just a creative genius. And I got to see his office. I got to go inside his office, and that was so that was a bucket list thing for me. So to go inside his office, and it just felt very special. I had to try really hard not to cry, and thankfully I didn't. But I had a really nice time visiting his office. So that was really cool up in Burbank. And let's see, I think I went to Disneyland one time. It was the very beginning of January, while I was still on winter break. And it just so happens I'm returning tomorrow for the new Droid release, the new Droid Depot release, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. So I'm still doing my Disney thing, here and there, and still working on music. You may have heard it here in the at the beginning, and it's also going to be recurring at the end of the show. But brand new song. This is called "The Cantinians" for you guys. And this song is our brand new theme music for Cantina Social Hour. So it's a whole song. It's a whole 4-minute thing, and maybe closer to 4 to 5 minutes. And I don't know if I'm going to release it on like the usual platforms like I've released other songs before, like Tidal and Spotify and all that stuff. I'll think about it, see what you guys think. Maybe I'll do it. But that is another process in and of itself. But the song is The Cantinians, so I hope you like the little bit you've heard, fitting in with the VC vibes, of course. We're gonna have some brand new segments this year on the show that you're going to see from time to time. And again, more guests coming through the canteen and hanging out with us. Darn, you guys, I'm just so glad to be back. I'm so glad. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you've had a nice little bit here. I know it's very cold, and it has been very cold in certain parts of the country. It's been uncharacteristically hot here in SoCal for like the last month. I'm talking like yesterday it was like 85 or something crazy. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but I think it's cooling down. It's going to cool down just in time for me to be back at Disneyland tomorrow. So I'm grateful for that because I hate the heat. I don't like really cold either, but I'm more of a middle ground type person. Anyway, let's see who is in the chat. Who is with us so far this evening? I see a lot of conversation. I love it. We got our moderator, Greg, with us tonight. Greg, how are you doing, sir? Why am I calling you Greg again? Are we going to do this in 2026? Adam, so sorry, Adam. We are definitely back tonight. Adam, thank you for moderating. Thank you for taking care of the unscrupulous characters in the back alcoves of the cantina. If you see a Deveronian or very suspicious looking Rhodian or something, definitely let me know. But also, I'll be counting on you to escort them off the premises. We got Dodgson. Hello, Dodgson. Dodgson, our good friend here, who is tending the soda fountain here in the cantina. Dodgson already passed me one of these guys right here. Mr. Pibb, you guys. Mr. Pibb. How often do you see Mr. Pibb in the can? Maybe you see more often than I do, but I don't see it very often. But I always really liked Mr. Pibb. I mean, I know it's weird. It's a weird soda because it's very similar to Dr. Pepper. Some might argue that Dr. Pepper is better. Some might say Mr. Pibb is better. I don't really know. I mean, sometimes Mr. Pibb, when you get it, on that rare chance that you get it, actually tastes really good. I don't know. I might give Mr. Pibb the edge over Dr. Pepper. I don't know. Maybe. Let's see here. We have Britt with us. How's it going, Britt? Good to see you as always. Saying hello all. As bookkeepers, I thought I might know some weekly history. Throw some weekly history into the social hour, starting with the Wookiee with the stash, Chalman, owner of the Mos Eisley Cantina. I was just talking to Chalman a little earlier, and he's excited. He's finally getting a figure. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We're going to talk about all of it. Adam says he's lost track of his acquisitions. Yeah, me too. Let's see here. We've got David returning to us. How's it going, David? Is the bar open? I would like a blue milk, please. Dodgson, pass that man a blue milk right over there, please. Thank you very much, sir. Let's see. We got Sci-Fi Dude. What's up, Sci-Fi Dude? Good to see you. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Glad that you are with us tonight. Got our friend Rick with us. Rick is he found his way back. A planet of ice was a no place for him. Okay. Well, we're glad you're back, Rick, and I hope you didn't encounter any wampas while you were on Hoth. Our friend Pico Obi-Wan. How's it going, Pico Obi-Wan? Good to see you. He's having the Kool-Aid tonight. We got Nicholas with us. What's up, Nicholas? Good to see you as always. We got July through November. What's up, July through November? Jason, good to see you. Return of the Jedi. I don't know about that, but thank you. Rick hasn't had a drink in weeks. Let's see who else. Allison's with us. Says good evening. Good evening to you, Allison. Thank you for joining. We got our friend Alex with us. What's up, Alex? Good to see you as always. Thank you for hanging out. Let's see here. Dom is with us. Disney has made their investment in Lucasfilm back many times over. Interesting. We got DTHBLLZ. Hello, everyone. Hello to you. Bob is with us. What's up, Bob? Good to see you. Thank you for hanging out. TVC Trev is with us. Good to see you, sir. Thank you for joining in tonight. Nice little crowd forming here in the cantina. Sorry, my voice is still a little bit recovering still. Nice. Oh, Dr. Pepper, huh? Dr. Pepper is winning. Blue milk would freeze in my neck of the woods this week. Glad to be in the cantina, though. Good to see you, Brent. Thank you for hanging out. Collector Phil's with us. What's up, Collector Phil? Good to see you. Great to make it for this get together. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here with us. Nice. We are off to a good little start here. That's off to a good little start here. It is great to see all you Cantinians with us. Thank you. Thank you for being here. All right, let's talk about our topics tonight. So I think we're gonna go about an hour-ish or so is what I'm expecting. We're gonna talk. We're gonna start off with Mattel DC because I think you guys probably know Mattel is regaining the DC license from McFarlane Toys. I have not been able to confirm if they are regaining the license from Spin Master yet for the 4-inch scale. I don't know. I've been trying to find that out, and I'm not 100% sure yet. So if you hear anything, please let me know. We're going to talk about those. We are going to also be talking about the Mezco 5 points Batman 89 toys, which just released. And you guys, every once in a while, a toy line comes around that just exceeds all expectation and is unmissable, if that makes sense. So we're going to talk that because I think we have something really special on our hands there. We're going to talk Hot Toys news. We got a bit to catch up on there. Droid Depot from Disney, Build a Droid. We're going to talk the TVC 4-pack that we had been waiting for a really long time on. That was finally announced. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk the TVC Mirok and 11th Brother. And then we'll close things out with new acquisitions, brand new things that I've added to my collection, things that you've added to your collection. We're going to have a good conversation about all of the brand new things we've been adding to our collections as of late. As of late, you guys. As of late. All right. We're going to go ahead and kick things off with the Mattel stuff that I mentioned earlier. So Mattel. All right, let me preface this with the fact that I wasn't that excited when I heard that Mattel was going to be recouping this license. I've been a big DC collector for a while now. Of course, not as big as Star Wars, but I have quite a few of them. And back when Mattel was doing the DC Universe classics, it was a fantastic line. It was one of, by bar none, it was one of the best toy lines on shelves. And I'm talking about 2008, 2009, 2010. But then as other lines came about, as the 6-inch scale became more of what you would see as like the main scale in stores, they kind of rested on their laurels and let things fall by the wayside in terms of innovating and updating and making things up to the standard that other companies were doing. So it was around the time that the right after Man of Steel, which came out in 2013, right after that, those figures were decent. They're pretty good. But then right after that, when it got into like Batman v Superman and then Justice League, like the figures they were making during that era were more reminiscent to figures they were making around 2008, 2009 than they were what other companies were doing in that time. So they kind of fell by the wayside. We look at other figures that they did for other lines, like Mattel's the Amber collection, the 6.5-inch line, and those were okay. I had a lot of problems with them, but it was an okay line overall. Kind of a strange line, but not horrible. And it just kind of showed that they weren't really going after the collector market, while companies like McFarlane and Hasbro and several others, Super 7, innovating to try and capture more of that mature collector who's looking for more of a higher end collectible that's more representative of the current time versus something from 2008, 2009. And Mattel just weren't evolving along with those other companies. Eventually, of course, they lost the DC license for the larger scale to McFarlane, and the smaller scale went to Spin Master about the same time. So we've seen McFarlane, we've seen what they've offered with DC. A lot of what they've offered is nice. A lot of it is good. But McFarlane is another company that kind of, to an extent, rests on its laurels and doesn't really innovate, technologically speaking, in engineering, in terms of that, on their products. They have done a lot of great stuff with DC, in terms of making things that nobody else is probably going to ever bother to make. Batman Forever, I mean, Batman Returns, Batman and Robin, even. Batman fans, especially if you're a fan of the live action stuff, they've been eating pretty well for the past few years. All the Batmobiles they were doing. I mean, Mattel wouldn't just never do those things. There's no way they would ever do those things, even now. So I got to hand it to them for that. But the license going back to Mattel, and McFarlane does have it for most of the rest of 2026, so they're still going to be doing stuff. But after that, it's going to be just Mattel that is doing the larger 6.5-inch scale. So if we take a look at this picture here, this is from Brad Q Geek on Instagram. It was reposted by my friend Toyshes. And this is a little look at some of the stuff that they're working on. So apparently there's going to be 2 6.5-inch scale lines. There's going to be a more kid-focused line, which is what you're seeing here in these pictures, coming fall 2026. And then you're going to also have a more collector-geared line, presumably in this same exact scale, 6.5-inch, that is geared more towards collectors. Looking at these pictures here, I mean, this really looks like DC Universe Classics, like, you know, that sort of thing. So again, it's a 2008, 2009 sort of thing. But I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with the collector line. I don't want to jump to conclusions and assume that it's not going to be a great line, because maybe they'll surprise us. Mattel does that every once in a while. And yeah, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt for now. We'll see this fall what things look like. I'm sure we'll get images before then. I'm sure we'll see a lot of stuff at Comic-Con. Maybe even some prototypes and figures on display, which would be really cool. But for the time being, all we have to look at this point is a peek of this more kid-centric 6.5-inch line, which, if you look at what they've done for the Superman, the movie from last year, they did have like a 6-inch scale, like a $10 price point line, which was, you know, not bad for what it was. For $10, you really can't argue with that. But you know, this right here is definitely a bit more kid focused. So, you know, I just want to say good luck to Mattel, and you know, hopefully they offer some stuff that comes out of left field, because I think a lot of us would like to see that. Just taking a peek at some of the comments here. As I say, comments. Rick says McFarlane has the DC multiverse figures through the end of 2026. I believe he's had some good releases the past 12 months. Hard to find some of them though. Yeah, and that's a big problem with the McFarlane stuff, is it tends to be very, very challenging to obtain a lot of it. Sci-Fi Dude says they look good. Mando Michi, how's it going? Says, any rumors of another release of Superman Retro from Spin Master? Not that I've heard. Not that I have heard. Rick also says, the new Zatanna with Detective Chimp is a great release. Professor Pig got his first figure too. Great C-tier Batman villain. Also, Jessica Cruz, Green Lantern, just released. Britt says, not loving how we're getting to spread out with 6.5-inch, and 7-inch. Please just pick one in that ballpark and stick to it. Yes, that is the take right there. 100% agree, Britt. I don't like all these scales. I am fine. Well, I mean, 3 3/4. I mean, that's where my heart and soul is always going to be. But I'm totally cool with a larger, 1/12 scale line for any property, honestly. But they really need to standardize what that scale is, because that's been a really that's been a big source of frustration for a lot of collectors. Some stuff is 6 inch, some 6.5 inch, some 7 inch, and you have some weird like 8 and 8.5 inch stuff that's like Beast Kingdom, like they do some of that weird stuff. Um, they really need to nail down something that is, and it's never going to happen, but I mean, I would love to see it at least something universally applied to everybody, like 6 inch, because it does look weird on the shelf when you have something that's 6 inch, then you have something that's 7 inch, or you have, figures that take up so much space once you get into, believe it, it's hard to believe, but that 1/2 inch from 6 inch to 6.5 inch makes a big difference. 6 inch to 7 inch makes a really big difference in terms of how much display space is on the shelf. So I would really love to see, them sort of standardize that a little bit more overall. But again, I don't think it's going to happen. Britt says she likes the Joker swagger in that picture. Yeah. Yeah, definitely doing a jokery type thing there. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to picking some of them up if they're decent and decently priced. But I mean, it looks like it looks like a Mattel figure. All of this stuff looks like Mattel figures. I don't see anything there that's like, but if it's the kid line, that's fine. I do not mind that at all. Hopefully we do get a peek at Toy Fair. That would be cool. Will there be a Toy Fair this year? I think so. I worry they're having DC Direct and McFarlane. I worry Mattel might be needing to cut corners in this newest economy and shipping landscape. Even the media landscape had changed quite a bit. Yeah, that's valid. Totally valid. Yeah, we're all big kids. Sci-fi dude, we're all big kids. Bob says, I hope Mattel does a variety of Batman. I hope so too. Dodgen says, I agree. Hasbro's Jurassic World had the same problem, and let's say numerous scales don't offer great results. That's true. There's no doubt in my mind that, and there's no doubt in my mind that Hasbro would be the best company for a 6-inch DC line, bar none. I mean, we see what they do with Marvel Legends. We see that they do a Black Series. We see what they do with G.I. Joe Classified, what they were doing with Power Rangers towards the end. Hasbro would knock a DC line out of the park. It'd be in that 6-inch scale that's easier to collect than 6.5 or 7. It would be that would be cool. But at the same time, I don't want one company to make everything. That's too big of a monopoly for me. Like I like seeing it spread out amongst different companies. But there's no doubt in my mind that Hasbro would make the best DC action figure line. All right. Let's going to move on to our next topic here. We're going to talk about the Mezco Toys 5 Points Batman 1989 line, which the first wave, there's 2 waves. First wave just dropped within the last 1 to 2 weeks. Wave 2 is coming later this year, supposedly. I'll believe it when I see it. This first wave was delayed like a year and a half. It took like a year and a half longer than they said it was going to be. But that's how it goes sometimes. It was worth the wait. It was worth the wait. Let's take a look here. I'm going to jump to my Instagram so I can show you. I know this is one of my acquisitions, but these figures, you get the 3 figures in this first wave and the Batmobile. They're not cheap. All right, so these are not like mass produced things that you would find like at the store. These are quality products that are minimally articulated, meaning they're 5 POA, but they're sculpted to a standard that is very high, I would say. And then the vehicle itself, the Batmobile, is the best Batman 1989 Batmobile that's ever been made in this scale by a long shot. And I have all of them. I have the Kenner ones. I have the old Toy Biz one. I have the Spin Master ones. Now I have this one. And this is what I mentioned earlier at the top of the show. Every now and then a toy line comes around that not only exceeds expectation, but in a way pushes the boundary of what a quality product could be and is also unmissable. And this release here, this wave, for me hits all of those points. And I'm going to tell you why. Firstly, I know you guys know this, but Batman 89, the Tim Burton Batman, those are my favorite Batman films. I mean, I love the Dark Knight trilogy. I really love the more recent Robert Pattinson, the Batman. But when we're talking about nostalgia, like Batman 89, Batman Returns, that's where I'm at. That's where my heart is at. So I was really excited to see that these are being made. And I'm going to tell you why they're so great. Let's start with the figures. I'm going to jump over to the figures here. So you get a Batman figure as a part of the, and by the way, if you go Entertainment Earth, you can only get the 3 figures like in a set. But if you go Big Bad Toy Store, you can buy them individually. I think Bob the Goon is sold out though, but the other ones I believe were still there last I looked. So this Batman figure is 100% 3 3/4 inch scale. It's not 4-inch scale. It's 3 3/4. You put it next to a TVC figure in it, and they blend seamlessly. They're the exact same scale. This Batman figure, even though it's minimally articulated, it is the absolute best Michael Keaton Batman in this 3 3/4 inch scale. I know Mattel did 4-inch back in 2013, and they did one of these, and it's a nice figure. It really is. And then Spin Master did one, actually very recently. That's another recent release, is the Spin Master Batmobile. And we can take a look at that in a minute. But and that was a bigger, it's like a 4.5-inch scale for whatever reason. But oh, and then there was also the one that Spin Master did with the Batwing, which is more Batman Returns based. But and it's a really nice figure too. But this one, it just has the look. It looks like Michael Keaton. It looks like a really nice bat suit. It does have a rubber cape, which you would think would be challenging for the Batmobile, but it actually is not. He with a little patience, you can get it in there just fine. And it's a really nice figure. I know there's 5 POA. We don't like 5 POA. I mean, I would prefer if these are super articulated. 100%, I would. That would be like a dream. But even then, I think that you get enough with these to make them quite exceptional. So rounding out the first wave is also Joker. You get Joker here. Love that Joker. And you get Bob the Goon. And they do come with accessories. Joker has his cane or his stick. It's not really a cane. It's more of like a prop. Batman's got the Batarang here. Bob the Goon has the camera. And then he's got he's like taking pictures of like Vicky Vale and stuff. And then the sword right here. Or the little, it's not a sword. It's more of like a Bowie knife sort of thing. But what's also great is that you get change out pieces with each of these. So Joker has the bullhorn. He's got an interchangeable head. And then he's got an extra right arm, which is like bent. Batman has interchangeable right and left arms. So you can have him more in like a fighting sort of crouching, like fighting pose. The legs, unfortunately, there's not swap out legs. That would have been nice. And then Bob the Goon, you can totally transform him into a different character, which is this, I don't really know what his name is. Sword Goon, I guess. What did I call him here? I had a name for him. I think I called him Slasher Goon. That's my unofficial name, Slasher Goon. And he's got the two swords. He's got the interchangeable arms. And then, of course, the head. So he can be Bob the Goon or he can be Slasher Goon. And yeah, so that, I mean, really nice what you get with these, even though, again, they are kind of pricey. But they pose really well, even though, with the interchangeable pieces, they pose really well despite not being very articulated. And yeah, Batman also has got the grapnel gun, which is cool. And I mean, they just look great together. Packaging is a big dose of nostalgia. If you were around like me, during the late 80s, buying this stuff, then by no doubt you're going to recognize this packaging. In 1989, Batman was all the rage. And these are the toys that were on shelves, the Toy Biz toys. So this packaging should be recognizable. You don't want to buy this stuff for the packaging, though. You can, but you really want to get it so you can enjoy the figures. Let's talk about the car. The car is a two-seater. That's never been done in this scale, ever. Never been done in this scale. But look at the detail as well of the cockpit. There's painted detail. Look at all the little sculpted knobs and all the little minutia of that cockpit. There's even like a bat logo on the steering wheel. There's different paint, some silver paint, kind of more like chrome looking paint. It looks great. He fits in there again just fine. If there ever is a Vicky Vale figure, and I know Spin Master teased one a while back, if there ever is one, she could sit in there with him just fine. Here's a comparison with the Spin Master Batmobile that came out around the same time. It actually came out like a few days before the Mezco. And that was a quick turnaround one. I think it went up for pre-order like in December or November, not too long ago. Yeah, I was a little disappointed with the Spin Master one because it's $30 and at most it feels like a $20 toy. If you have the Flash Batmobile that Spin Master made, it's the same exact car with less paint. And but it does have the machine guns that you can attach this time, which were not on the original release. And you get a Batman figure, which is not so great, but we'll take a look at it. But anyway, here's the comparison between the two. Obviously, you can tell which one is a little bit more flashy, and that's the Mezco. The bottom of the Mezco Batmobile has detail sculpted. It's even got that turntable that pops down in Batman Returns. So that's really nice. You have a really beautiful sculpt for the Batmobile, just all around. Like they captured the dimensions, they captured the aesthetic. They did a really nice job bringing this to life. It's just a really, really good looking car. You also get, like the Toy Biz one back in the day, you also get the plastic cocoon that you can place right over the Batmobile. I ended up putting mine on top of the Spin Master Batmobile because obviously the Mezco is way better and it fits over the Spin Master one just fine. They're the machine guns. So the machine guns, they actually they're on like they rotate. So you can you push them and manually spin them. So it's a really nice built-in feature. But yeah, from all angles, I mean, this thing just looks really, really, really nice. I like the glossy aspect of it. I think that's really cool. How screen accurate is that? I mean, the sculpt is screen accurate for sure. I think the colors are pretty screen accurate, but I don't know that. I don't think the Batmobile in 89 was quite this glossy. I mean, so that's really the only thing I can knock it on, but it actually looks really cool in person. A little bit of a dust magnet, to be sure. But again, from all angles, every proportion, it's just a really nice looking car. Like if I told you this was like the Jazz Inc. Batmobile, you might be inclined to believe it. I mean, it just looks so good. Rubber tires. You get a flame effect in the back that rotates when you spin it. When you move the car back and forth, it spins like the Kenner one did. And again, just from every angle, it's just a really nice piece. if you like Batman 89, oh, and you do get stands with the figures as well. You don't really need them, but you know, you can use them. If you like Batman 89, I would 100% recommend this set and say don't miss it. Even if you're like you like Batman but aren't hardcore 89, maybe the Dark Knight trilogy is more your thing. I mean, these are just toys that I think anybody could appreciate, even if you're not really into Batman or DC. They're just really, really good. I was really impressed. It took a long time to get these, but I'm okay with it because the execution, they turned out really, really well. If you want to pick these up, I mentioned, and I'm not getting commission from any of these companies or anything, because I don't do that. But Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store were the companies that were selling them. So let's see, they're still in stock. Let's jump over to, just for a moment, Entertainment Earth. They're still there in stock, hot off the truck, January 27th. Yeah, Cars $53.99 and the 3-pack of figures is $64.99. Again, not cheap, but I really think if you order these, when you get them, the price is going to become immaterial, because I mean they're just a really good quality product. I'm blown away, and these are going to be hard to beat. Like for like my favorite toys of this year, I know it's very early in the year, but these are going to be some of the hardest things to beat for me as a Cantina nerd collector. It's been doing this for way too long. Anyway, yeah, don't miss them. If you like Batman, don't sleep on these. Do not sleep on these. People are going to want these in a few years. All right, let's move on to. Well, first, let's take a gander into the comments. Freddy Krueger. Yeah, that was random, wasn't it? I noticed that too. Pico says, I can hear the picture. I can hear the picture. Yeah, the jet engine effect is really cool. Jason says, I remember Batman 89. Everyone wearing Batman stuff. Guys, I was freaking Batman in 1989 for Halloween. I was. I'm not lying. I really was. I remember I had the gauntlets, but my mom, she cut out like a black plastic trash bag, and she cut out the shapes of the blades. And then I think it was like a sewn. Might have been my grandmother. She used to make all my Halloween costumes when I was little. It was like a mask with the ears. I remember the ears were kind of annoying because they wouldn't stay up there. They would kind of like go like that. And the cape, I think, was just like a cape that maybe the shape was cut into it at the bottom. But yeah, it was a big year for that was big, and I was really little, but that was really big. Are we gonna get Prince Bat Dance figure? Sword Goon, where's Indiana Jones? Yeah, that's definitely, yeah. How can Batman save Gotham without bending his knees? Use your imagination, Jason. Yeah, Bob is really a treat. Bob might be my favorite figure in that set, to be honest. Yeah, that's fair. Brent says, I don't mind these high POA as long as they're priced accordingly. That's fair. But again, you do get, they're quality figures. They're not like when you think 5 POA, you probably think like, figure you can pick up in a clearance bin at Walmart or something. No, these are like quality. The plastic is quality. The paint is quality. Very clean paint applications. And again, all the interchangeable parts. So, I mean, it's not really fair to say 5 POA because it's not. That's what Mezco calls them. So we're going to stick with it. Yeah, 89. That's where it is for sure. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to, Sci-Fi Dude was Joker in 89. Nice. In another universe, we're fighting. In 1989. I don't think Michael Keaton was about that's a good point. All right. Let's move on to, what did I say? Hot Toys. So we got some stuff. All right, we're going to go to Sideshow and take a look at the most recent releases for Hot Toys. And we are going to start. We're going to start where we left off before we went on break. And that was the Magna Guard. Yeah, the Magna Guard. So this was cool. I don't think this was the most exciting release, but it was by far not the most poor release either. Revenge of the Sith, Magna Guards. I mean, they just released Grievous last year, and Grievous is probably one of my top 5 Hot Toys right now. Magna Guard makes sense. What is interesting to me, though, is that they went with the blue Magna Guard, which, I'll be honest, until the Black Series figure, I didn't even know there was a blue Magna Guard in Revenge of the Sith. I thought they were all like silver. I know like the capes were a little bit different colored, but I didn't realize there was a blue Magna Guard. I thought they were all silver colored. And if you look at the images here, see if we can find it. There's actually a tease for the silver Magna Guard. I wonder if it's on here. I mean, I'm surprised that they didn't go with silver first, but that's just me. There we go. There's the silver one. I don't know if they're actually going to put out the silver one. I think it's going to depend on how well the blue one does. I would have preferred the silver one, but one detail I can appreciate on the silver one is that if you look at it, one of the lights, it might be hard for you guys to see, but one of the eyes is more bright than the other. And that's accurate to Revenge of the Sith. When Obi-Wan's taking off in the Jedi Starfighter, like pretending to take off anyway, I think it's R4G9 that's actually taking off. You see this specific Magna Guard with the one more dim light than the other for the eye. So if they did both, that would be cool. I mean, this would be a really cool way to pose these on the shelf. Grievous and then the 2 Magna Guards. So that would be really cool. Because I love Grievous so much, I did pre-order the blue Magna Guard. And again, it may come down to sales, but I do hope they do the silver one because having that balance of the 3 of them on the shelf would be really, really nice. But yeah, it's a really good looking figure. I assume it's going to be a little bit hefty. He's got the same accessory that Grievous had, that electro staff. You can display with or without the cape. This is all you get here. So LED light up function for the eyes, 2 display styles, electro staff with attachable effect accessories, and display base. So, I mean, not a lot, but again, if you like Revenge of the Sith, it's a pretty cool release. I didn't expect to see this one, at least not anytime soon, but as a big Revenge of the Sith fan, I can 100% appreciate it. Price is $285. Estimate is October 2026 rather, to March 2027. So basically, we know it's going to be probably like next June of 2027 that it actually comes out. But that's how Hot Toys rolls. All right. Other than that, let's skip over this Batman here. We'll go straight to an exciting release. As you guys know, Hot Toys released the Dial of Destiny Indiana Jones last year. And it's a nice figure. I love Indy, so I picked him up. But everybody was asking, hey, when are they going to do a young Indy figure? And, well, here he is. We didn't have to wait too long. Now, that said, is this the definitive young Indiana Jones figure that collectors were clamoring for? Probably not. Probably not. This is an interesting one. Comes in 2 versions. Deluxe edition. The deluxe version is $360, and the collector edition is $210. So $50 price difference. Let's talk about what you get here with the collector edition. So this indie is based on the Temple of Doom, which, I know that's not necessarily the biggest favorite amongst indie fans. I love all the films. But this would not have been my preference in terms of what to do first. But again, they're going to milk it. They're going to make you wait. They're going to make you buy this until they release the definitive one from Raiders of the Lost Ark with the leather jacket. This one here, you get his more like hunky sort of look with the shirt unbuttoned and his chest sticking out. And I mean, it's a good looking figure. The Dial of Destiny one was excellent, so I have no doubt this one's going to be excellent as well. But standard display base, you get the whip, you get the sword, and then the figure. It looks really nicely tailored, really nicely proportioned. Yeah, accessories look pretty much like the whip at least looks like the one that came with the previous release. Which it wasn't the best whip, to be honest. But he's wearing his fedora, of course. He's got a pistol. He's got the stones. I think he looks good. They know what they're doing with that pose. Come on. Yeah. It looks great. This is the prototype, obviously, but Hot Toys is finally getting to a place where I think they're starting to get closer and closer and closer to nailing Harrison Ford's likeness. Took them a long time, but it's been worth the wait because this looks really, really, really good. Really, really, really good. The hat does not appear to be removable, but you can remove his shirt. You can remove his shirt, you guys, and you get a seamless body. There aren't any joints that are noticeable because he's got that silicone style material for the upper body. And if we zoom in, there is sculpted detail on his chest. You can see the burn mark where Short Rod burns him. Yeah, chest hair, the musculature, the veinage. Is veinage a word? Is veinage a word? He's got veins and stuff. Let's get that trending. Veinage. A beautiful figure, you guys. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I mean, I think it's just a matter of time. Again, I do wish he had the jacket, but we're gonna have to wait. They're gonna milk it. They're gonna make you buy this one, and then they're gonna do the one with the jacket. And then again, there is also the deluxe version. Now, the deluxe one is actually pretty cool because you get this more atmospheric display base. Dial of Destiny, they did a DX one as well, which I did not pick up. I just got the standard one because the base, I didn't have anywhere to put that base. It was too big. Doesn't really fit in a DTOF. So, but this is actually really cool because it has the skull, right? And it has the stones. So, I don't know. I really would like to have the skull, but I don't really want the base. I don't know. If I order it, I don't know. What should I do? Which way should I go? DX or standard? Let me know what you think. But it is a really nice looking figure. And the more I see it, the more I'm like, Victoria, what are you waiting for? You know you want this. You know you're gonna get it. Just do it. Here's everything you get with the DX. Plenty of stuff. Lots of hands. You get the glowing stones as well as the not glowing stones. So there's a lot to appreciate there. We'll jump to the next one. Let's talk about Batman. Arkham Origins. Probably the worst game in the Arkham series. But probably the best costume from the Arkham series at the same time. This is a really nice looking figure. Again, you guys know I love Batman. InArt is working on their own figure, which it's not quite 6 inch. It's a little bit bigger, but It looks really nice. I assumed that they were going to translate that into a 1/6 figure, but obviously Hot Toys is beating them to the punch because they're doing their version here. Hot Toys has done many Arkham figures in the past, and this is no exception. They're doing Origins now, and that's cool. It looks great. I don't know that it's necessarily my personal cup of tea, but it looks really great. Look at all the texture on the cowl. Lots of sculpted detail on his face. You see like the 5 o'clock shadows like sculpted in. Looks pretty mean. It's a great batsuit. It really is. It's very beefy, bulky, armored up look, which he did not have in the earlier Arkham games. Yeah, it's a great costume. I think this one would look nice in live action, but it looks fairly posable, at least in these images. I'm surprised that he's in that sort of a crouch pose. Even the arm, like the bend at the arm, that's actually pretty decent. So it yeah, it looks really, really good. Yeah, some of these poses, like how did they even manage that? You get the little electronic effects, and there they are teasing Deadshot. What else? Grapnel gun, accessories. Oh, so this was always one of my favorite weapons in the game. The games like the explosive gel. Like if you play the Arkham games, you know the explosive gel. That was always one of my favorite weapons to use. It was just a fun one. Highly detailed armor suit. Looks great. Looks quite great. We'll jump over now to and price is $300, which is probably less than I thought it was going to be. TK Stormtrooper, you guys. TK Stormtrooper. Now this right here is from the Bad Batch. This is what Stormtroopers look like before what we know as a Stormtrooper came about. These were like that transition period between Clone Trooper and classic Stormtrooper, the Imperial Stormtrooper. So it's obviously very much based on the Ralph McQuarrie aesthetic. And I think they did a really nice job with it. Price is $235, not too bad. There are two versions of it though. We'll talk about the other version in a minute, but this is the standard right here. So the TK Stormtrooper, comes with quite a good little bit of stuff. Some hands, display base, a couple different blasters, detachable life support device, and breathing tubes. It's got to have that, right? I did not expect to see this one like at this point in time, but it sounds from what I've heard like a lot of folks like it. I don't know that it's for me personally, but it's one of those things, right? Like space and money and all that. Like you kind of got to prioritize. It's cool. I don't know that I need to have it though. I didn't buy any of the Bad Batch stuff, so I don't think I. So the detachable life support is pretty cool because you can have kind of like two different looks. So you'd probably have the best display if you bought two of them and displayed one of each. But again, when you talk about 1/6 scale, you really got to pick and choose what you're collecting. Unless you're certain people that buy everything, which there are some of those, and that's fine. But 6 scale it's really hard because the space thing. So that's everything you get there. For the other version, there's also the special edition, and that's priced at $270 compared to the $235. And the special edition comes with some pretty cool stuff too. So it has the poncho, which I think is pretty neat. You get the poncho, and you also get the goggles. Can you imagine how hard it is for this guy to see wearing one of these TK helmets and then also putting goggles on top of that? Like, you can't blame them for being such horrible shots. You really can't. But it's a cool figure. It really is. It really is a cool figure. I've given it a thought or two, but I don't think this is. I don't think it's for me. It is really nice though. It is really nice. Okay, let's talk about. I guess that's all for Batman and Star Wars. A couple. Oh, this is. Let's talk about this. This is an interesting one. So, Spider-Man. It's interesting. They've been doing a few things from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi films, but this right here is Battle Damage Spider-Man, which is an interesting choice for release. They're still not giving us the straight up regular Spider-Man from those original films, but that's okay. I know they're milking it. So it's a neat looking figure. I know there's I've seen a lot of posts online too about this, the seams and the stitching and that kind of thing, which is fair. There are some obvious issues there. But it is an interesting thing for them to do. And this makes the third Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, I believe, they've done. The only one I did pick up was the No Way Home version. But if they did a regular, like from the first film, like Spider-Man, like not battle damaged, which they're probably gonna do it at some point. Like that would be the one I would go for. But until then, I don't need this one or the symbiote one. Or I'll keep waiting. I will keep waiting. I'm patient. What about K-pop Demon Hunters? You guys said these are up too. They're kind of pricey. They're $280 for Rumi. Yikes. Mira is $260. Zoe's $260. I don't know. I don't know anybody personally that's told me they're getting these, but I'm sure, there's obviously a market for them. I will say one thing I don't really like is seeing, the comments online where it's like, why are they bothering to do this? Nobody's going to buy that. Why don't they make this or that instead of the, I don't know. I don't really see it that way. I mean, I see stuff like this as in addition to the other things that they're making or planning to make. I don't think it's taking away like from other things people are asking for. And again, I think there is a market for some of these. So, I mean, they look cool. I enjoyed the film, but you got to think about it too. Nobody's gonna. I mean, maybe some people will, but you can't really buy just one, can you? I mean, I guess you could, but you pick your favorite. I think Rumi's probably my favorite of the three, but yeah, it'd be hard to just buy one of them. So they look cool. I'll give it to Hot Toys for doing something different with these. And yeah, the interchangeable face sculpt is blurred out, probably because it's not finalized yet. It's pretty cool accessories thrown in there too. Pretty cool accessories. But yeah, that'll do it for Hot Toys. How are you guys feeling about these releases here? Let's see, we've gotten a lot of comments on Hot Toys. Thank you for this. Chad, Magna Guards, white, gray, silver, and blue. Thank you for that. Now, I hope Hot Toys doesn't make all four. Two's enough. Yeah, very screen accurate. Yeah, I don't know if it's die-cast, Adam, but that would be really cool. Dr. Jones is bringing sexy back. Yeah, I think so, Britt. I think he is. Adam says that he grabbed this indie immediately. He is exactly the indie that Adam wanted. That's awesome. Very happy for you, Adam. Or shall I call you Greg? No, I won't do that. Adam. You call him Dr. Jones. Yes. Yeah, I love all the films. Temple of Doom. Yeah, I love those original three, especially. Like, yeah, my favorite is gosh, I go back and forth, but I think I don't know. I don't really want to say because I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% sure, actually. I was going to say one of them, but now I'm like, is it? Yeah, I don't know. Britt says that Temple of Doom is her personal favorite. Short Round as a hot toy would be awesome. Too much forward for Dodgson. Britt says she might have to break her vow of no hot toys. Adam says that likeness is from his Indie Fans account. That's a good one. That is a good one. Okay, I'm gonna say it. The Last Crusade. That's my favorite. Last Crusade is definitely my favorite. It definitely is my favorite. Case closed. Rick says Last Crusade as well. Yeah, that whole opening with the young Indy was great. Get the DX Victoria, then you have options. That's true. I do wish that the DXs included the standard bases though. That's my only thing. Because it's nice that they give you that really fancy base, but like it's not going to fit in a DTOF. So I mean, I would appreciate if they threw in the $3 base that they could easily throw in. It's like, why not just do it? You guys are telling me to buy the DX and to buy it now. I may have to. Once you start down the dark path, forever will it dominate your wallet. That is well said, Jason. That is well said. More beverages, yeah. Keep them coming. Keep them coming, Dodgson. Keep them coming. Dodgson says, if anyone doesn't mind, I'll be rating the blue and pink milk fridge. Do it, Dodgson. That's what you're here for. Do it. Enjoy. Partake. Which I did try the pink milk last time I went to Disneyland at Galaxy's Edge. They have the pink milk. Now it was the first day of them having the pink milk. They got rid of the green milk, and now it's just the pink milk and the blue milk. I will say the pink milk is the best one, in my opinion. It tasted like strawberry banana with a hint of coconut. That's the best way I could characterize it. But I thought it was the best one. Mary, there's our friend Mary. Good to see you, Mary. How are you doing? There is Mario. What's up, Mario? Good to see you. We have Hedge Hog Action. Hi, welcome to the Cantina. Special goggles with synthetically improved sight enhancers. That's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. Yeah, I agree, Adam. It's not necessarily the best likeness so far. Britt says, I'm a bad anime fan and haven't watched K-pop Demon Hunters. I was late to the punch myself, Britt, so don't feel bad. Yeah, Chad liked it too. Yeah, it's one of, I don't know. I thought it was cool. I thought it was fun. It's one of those that I could probably just put on the background, just have like noise, like if I watch it again. But I liked it. Sci-Fi Dude said 100% is not taking away from anything. Yep. Some votes for Last Crusade is the best indie film. More votes for Last Crusade. I like it. Nice. Ooh, a lot of comments for Last Crusade. Figure Raft. Hi there. New to the channel and stream. Welcome, Figure Raft. Thank you for being here. You are now a Cantinian, so welcome. Dodgen says, the dark side has already consumed me. Last year, my swap meet hunting was my most expensive year. Was there pink milk in the movies? I don't think so. Let's see. We've got Neutron 1973. Hello. Welcome to the Cantina. You, too, are now Adam says, I am here laughing at how aggressive YouTube is being tonight at flagging comments for review. Interesting. I don't see that from on my side, but that's because you're in charge of security. What does Anakin say? I'm in charge of security here, my lady. That's you, Adam. You're in charge of security. All because of Indy? Yeah, that's probably what it was, Brent. Ooh, 3 1/4 inch pink milk. I don't own a raft. I don't think I own a raft. I'm trying to think. No, I don't. Should I get a raft? Do I need a raft for something? Maybe to stay afloat in my collection because I'm swimming in collectibles. All right, let's move on to the next. I was going to say next phase, but that makes no sense. Next topic. You guys want to talk Star Wars? Should we? 3 3/4 inch Star Wars? Let's do it. All right. Droid Depot, you guys. So these came about while I was on break from the show. So we haven't gotten to talk about these at all. So Disney, as many of you know, Disney is goes pretty deep on making droid figures in the parks. They put out figures for various holidays. They put out figures for different 4-packs that they do, like trying to represent different films. When Disney was doing the movies and the series, like the sequel trilogy, and then Rogue One and Solo and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and those series, they were also making droids from those films and those shows, which is awesome because Hasbro doesn't like doing droids. So thankfully, Disney is filling that. They're helping to scratch that itch for droids. I mean, I love droids. Droids have always been one of my favorite aspects of Star Wars, just because of the world building possibilities, especially when you're talking about toys. So I love that Disney is doing a Build-A-Droid. I don't know if it's a line. I guess it kind of is a line. It's not really a wave because they're coming out once a month. But I guess it kind of is like a sub-line of the Droid Depot line, if that makes sense. But they've done 2 so far. I guess let's start off with the first one, which let me pull that up real quick. First one came out in January, and that was this right here. This is my photo. R5K6 from A New Hope. Love it. They also they added back the wired feet, which they haven't done for a lot of releases. Like if you look at these Valentine's droids right next to them, those don't have the wired feet, but these new Build droids have the wired feet. So they're a cut above most of the other droids that they've done, which is commendable. I kind of feel like this is like a Coca-Cola looking astromech here. But anyway, that was the first one, R5K6. The other 2 there, the Valentine's ones, R2 Love You and R2 I Know. Haha. But the other one is now out, and it is a very it's a neat one. It's going to pull that one. Pull that one up. So this new one is actually from The Mandalorian. If you recall, Grief Karga had his own protocol droid. And it was this guy right here, CU-28. There are going to be 6 of these droids total. This is number 2. This one comes out tomorrow, you guys. So if you want to try and pick them up, DisneyStore.com. The first one sold out like after a couple weeks. So don't sleep on these if you want to add them to your collection. It's also being released in the parks tomorrow. So I will be at the park tomorrow. So I'm hoping that they have him so that I can buy him in person. But yeah, so what I really like is that, once you get all of them, you can build this really cool protocol droid. It's like the one that you see in The Mandalorian season 3, that has that really cool like metallic blue paint, which that'd be a really cool one for Hasbro to do, but they're probably not going to do it because again, they don't really like doing droids for whatever reason. So I'm glad that Disney can fill that void with these figures, because this is a fun release for sure. Really fun release. So I'm eager to get all 6 and then be able to build that droid. And I assume that if this line does well, that there will be a follow-up series to it. So you can build another droid and buy more droids and have plenty of droids to fill up your Star Wars shelves. Are these limited release? I don't think they're technically limited release, but the first one did sell out after a couple of weeks. So I think just once they're gone, they're gone. They probably don't want to have like stock of 6 different droids like clogging up the shelves at the parks. And they probably don't want them sitting around in some warehouse waiting to get purchased. So yeah, don't sleep on these for sure. Do not do that. I think they're pretty cool. I think they are pretty cool. Don't worry, Sci-Fi Dude. We will get to TVC. Yes, we will. We will get to TVC soon. Let's see here. And it says, a droid is very nice. I need more droids in my world building. Bob is excited for CU28 tomorrow. Wanted this droid as soon as I saw it. Mandalorian season 3. Hope I can get it tomorrow. I think anybody that wants it's going to get it. I don't think it's going to be super limited. The first one sold out in like 2 weeks. Something like that. Maybe a week? Was it? I don't remember. It was like a week or 2 weeks. So I think more people will be trying to get it than the last one, since it did sell out. I don't think people thought it was going to sell out. So I think more people are going to try and get it than last time. But I think if you want it, you'll be good like the first couple of days for sure. Dear Ralph says, this March I'll be going back to Disneyland since I last went in 2013. Can't wait to have 2 little ones that are age ready. Awesome. Have a blast. If you need any tips, let me know. I'm there once a month, so happy to offer unsolicited advice with that. Brent says, it's tough having to pay the shipping online if you buy it, since it's only free with $85. Yeah, that is really annoying. That is really, 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 because you multiply that times 6. That's a lot of money in shipping, right? So yeah, I'm going to try and pick it up in person, and I may not be able to do that for every release, but tomorrow it's just coincidental that I'll be going when it's released, so should be able to get it, I think. Now I don't have to hunt down the Scramble on Battle, the Scramble on Yavin battle pack. Holonet says that is true. Sci-Fi Dude likes the Valentine's figures. Nicholas says, I ordered CU28 this morning. I'm in the future. Not sure if I'll get all 6. They're a bit pricier now. Very nice. Do they have a release schedule? They do. Yakface posted the schedule, I believe. I believe it was Yakface. But yeah, there is. It's one a month from now until June. So yeah. But yeah, there are dates for when they're coming out every month. Amanda Mitchie, how's it going? Says, with the limited TVC spots for new figures and the new Star Wars media, it is awesome Disney is doing this. Yeah, 100%. I support Disney doing more droids, especially when they're nice droids like these. Peek Obi-Wan says, were you able to get into Oga's before they closed down for the renovations? I haven't been to Oga's since, when did I last go? I think in November. I think I stopped by there in November. And yeah, Rise of the Resistance is closed down too for renovations. I don't know when either are reopening. Um, I mean, Oga's is cool, but the drinks aren't the best. You go for the atmosphere. You don't go. The drinks are pricey and they're not the best. A lot of it's like pre-mixed stuff. When I go to Disney, I seldom go to Oga's for that reason. But California Adventure, right across the Esplanade, Carthay Circle Lounge. If you want to find me sipping on a cocktail at Disney, it's more than likely, more often than not, it's going to be there because they have such a nice. It's 1930s Hollywood themed, and it's dim in there. You can go in at 3 o'clock, and it feels like it could be any time of the day because it's so dark. But it's just such a nice vibe, and the folks there at the bar like have come to know me over time, and yeah, they make everything like the proper way, the proper, from everything's from scratch. So that's usually where I'm at. Hedgehog Action says just shipped a pile of loot with the Valentine's Ewok. Nice. I haven't gotten that yet. Brent agrees. Oga's is nice for the experience, but not as exciting as you'd hope. Yeah, especially because you do have to share tables. Like if you when you go, you're sharing a table with strangers, and that's cool to an extent because it, like for me, like that's probably a good thing because I get to talk to other people and you get to meet people and stuff and have conversations. But at the same time, sometimes you want your own space. So that's the only thing. All right, TVC. Should we do it? TVC? Is it time? Vintage collection, Star Wars, Hasbro, 3 1/4 inch. Let's do it. All right, we're gonna get into it, you guys. Let's talk some Cantina denizens, shall we? This is the set that I have been waiting for. This is the set you have been waiting for. This is the set my Cantina has been waiting for because you could never have too many Cantina aliens in your Cantina. So let's talk about it. All right, let's pull this up. Let's look at it together. We finally know what is in this Cantina 4-pack. Out of everything Star Wars, I know I'm a broken record by saying this for the umpteenth time, but out of everything Star Wars, the Cantina is my jam. If I had to sacrifice everything in my collection except for one thing, I would keep my Cantina with all of its denizens in it. Hopefully they'd let me keep the Streets of Mos Eisley too, because of course I got Chad's figures, his custom figures in there, which are amazing. But yeah, the Cantina is my favorite thing in the entire collection because it's the one thing that ever since I was a kid, I was most drawn to in Star Wars. And as Hasbro put out, Kenner, then Hasbro put out all of those Cantina characters from the Power of the Force 2 all the way through, I guess, Black Series 3 3/4, if you want to include Mosep in there. That was where my fascination was, like all that variety of different species intermingling in this one bar, this one cantina on Tatooine, in the middle of this spaceport desert, the desert spaceport. Like it captured my imagination. It was and is still my favorite thing in all of Star Wars, and I prefer the Cantina to the Empire, to the Rebels. I mean, I love that stuff. Don't get me wrong; it's all Star Wars, and I love it. But the Cantina is like my favoriteest thing ever. And Jabba's Palace is probably second place, but Cantina. So anyway, I was really excited for this. Arleal Shoe. So you guys know how the Cantina has that went down because we were talking about it every single week during that campaign. And I was really bummed out that our Leo Shoes did not unlock. And part of that, to this day, I'm going to say, part of the reason that didn't unlock was because the Cantina HasLab was an abbreviated campaign. It did not get the full 45 days that the other campaigns received. I fully believe that had it had that full 45 days, it would have unlocked, we would have gotten our Leo Shoes in that final tier. But it's not as big a deal anymore because we no longer have to squeal for our Leo. Our Leo is in this set. He is coming to our collections. We're finally going to have our Leo Shoes after the Tonicas, and this has been the case since before the HasLab. After the Tonicas, our Leo was my most wanted Cantina figure. So I'm very excited that we are going to be getting our Leo. So let's talk about the figures that are in the set. We're going to jump over to JediNews.com so that we can get some better images of these. Now, unfortunately, Hasbro did not ever send press images of these guys. Don't know why. Don't know why. But some fans have cobbled together stuff that was in the YouTube live stream, the Hasbro fan pulse stream. And they've created kind of their own little thing using those images. Let's start with, I guess since we're already talking about our Leo, let's talk about our Leo again. So, oops. So our Leo is the same figure that we saw with the, that would have been part of the HasLab. So he's got a glass, he's got a pistol, and the figure looks great. Will there be a dip in quality from the TVC, from what would have been in the HasLab to what we're getting in this set right here? That I hope not. I would be inclined to say that it's probably going to be like 90%, but I mean, who knows? I could be wrong. But yeah, I'm over the moon that our Leo Shoes is going to be in this set. Now, he looks great. He looks great. We're going to move on to, let's talk Labria, everybody's favorite Deveronian. Labria is a much needed update. Last year, I tried to make the case that Danik Jericho is the most in need of an update out of all Cantina figures that have been made before. And I stand by that. I still believe that, but no doubt Lax Sirac would have been in the top 3. Or not, sorry, not Lax Sirac. Labria would have been in the top 3. Lax Sirac probably would have been in the top 3 too, honestly. Yeah, Labria really needed an update. I personally feel like the head sculpt might be a little bit off. I don't want to be like too picky here, but I feel like it might be slightly off in these images. This is an easy one for them to do because it does have some reuse. We haven't seen him without the cape, I don't think, so we don't know what. I really want to see what his sleeves look like and his shirt and all that. But he's a really wise inclusion for this set. Probably so too is Garandan, though the one we have from 2006 from the Saga collection is not that bad. I don't think this was one of the higher priority in needs of a remake compared to some of the others, but he did need an update at some point, so yeah, I'm glad that he's in the set. That is cool. And again, some reuse in the tooling. It'll be nice to have a definitive TVC Garandan. I know some people say Garindin. I've never said Garindin. Ever since the 90s, it's always been Garandan to me. Ever since that first figure that was ever made of him in the Power of the Force 2, it's always been Garandan. And that's what I'll call him until the end of time. All right, and then the last one, probably the biggest surprise in this set was Chelman. Chelman, for those who are not hip to the Cantina, is in Legends was the owner of the Mos Eisley Cantina. It was the Cantina was formerly called Chelman's Cantina. I don't know if it was posted on the doorway though. I don't think it was, but yeah. This is a figure I know you guys here at Social Hour. If you think back a few months, we were talking about when we were talking about Acmina being a possibility. Like we're throwing in Chalman's name in there. He was going to be on my March Madness this year for sure, but the fact that he was made before I got to make my list, it was like, okay, well, he doesn't need to be on my list now. But I really wanted Chalman because again, Cantina nerd. Love all things Cantina. Like there was no way I was not going to want to have Chelman in my display. So I was a little surprised seeing that so many folks online were like, why is Chelman in this set? Why didn't they do this or do that? I mean, it's freaking Chelman. Like, I mean, I'm ecstatic that he's in this set. Yeah, of course, there's other aliens we need. There's other characters we need from the Cantina. Some that are arguably higher priority than Chelman, but imagine a world where we never get Chelman, and then imagine the world in which we do. What kind of a reality is that? That's pretty freaking awesome. You got to admit, that's pretty freaking awesome. Cantina lovers and collectors, you know, we've had some pretty cool stuff in recent years. So I am elated that Chelman, he's the biggest surprise of this set. And you know, that aside, like if you didn't want Chelman to be in this set, look at it this way. A Wookiee in a smuggler's outfit that serves brews at a bar. Does it get any cooler than that? Does it get any more Star Wars than that? Like, no, of course not. It doesn't. So I am 100% elated and enthusiastic and excited for Chelman. I'm excited for this set. Now, of course, there is the issue that that we're not going to get these with, presumably, we're not going to get these on cards because they're going to be in this 4-pack. This is a special action figure set, you guys. Special action figure set. So we're not going to be getting them on cards. Is it possible that they may go back at a later date and put them on cards? I mean, sure, anything's possible. Could happen. It wouldn't be the craziest thing for them to do. But what is the likeliness they're all going to be on cards if they do that? Probably not really likely. And that's probably my biggest issue with this set is I would have preferred it to be, I would have preferred for one of those like multi-packs where they do card the figures and then just sell in a multi-pack. The reason they didn't do that, and I don't know this for a fact, I just know that it's true. The reason they didn't do that is because it may have hampered the exclusivity of Arleal shoes had he been unlocked in the HasLab Cantina. I'm almost certain that's what it was. And that's why these are not on cards. Again, could they be on cards later? Maybe. Usually when they recard figures from these special action figure sets, they're exclusives, right? Like the ones with the foil wording on them. So I don't know that they would do that with this because I don't think this one's going to have that. This isn't going to be like the foil one. I'm trying to remember if the Stormtrooper, the Snowtrooper, Biker Scout, Sand Trooper set had the foil on it because I know they did. They are doing the Snowtrooper is coming out separate. So if it's not one of those, then I think there's a good chance some of these will get recarded. But I don't think we're ever going to get Arleal shoes on a TVC card, unfortunately. Again, because I'm quite confident that he's the only reason that these figures aren't individually carded. But if they do card any of these, I think it would probably be Labria and Garandan would be my guess. which maybe that's better than none. But I mean, I would love to have had Arleal and Chalman on their own cards. But that's how it goes. That's how it goes. I'm just really happy we're getting this set. Really happy we are getting this set. And I do see a lot of Cantina chatter about the this figure set. So let's have a peek. Let's have a peek. Trevor says the shoes is finally loose. Adam says Chalman rolls. Yeah. David says I can't wait to order the 4-pack. Yes. Trevor says Chalman was an amazing surprise. Oh yeah. Allison says hyped on 2 of the 4, so on the 3rd, and disappointed in the choice of 4th. I won't ask you for specifics. I will not ask you for specifics. Brent says the Cantina is actually one of a few pieces in OT Star Wars with a bunch of aliens and weird stuff. That is true. And in all of Star Wars, I mean, Phantom Menace, we see a lot of aliens. We see them in all the prequel trilogy, but yeah, in the OT for sure, like that's like the main, and Jabba's palace, of course. Dodson says more Cantinians to add to the Cantina. Holonet says 2 of them have been featured heavily in the last few March Madness campaigns, and that is true. I mean, after all, Arleal Shoes did win last figure standing, and was on the top of a bunch of lists, mine included, in March Madness. Ed is here. Ed says just in time for the Cantina figure talk. Cantina had the best music, Allison says. David says the Cantina was also his favorite scene. Alex is getting the 4-pack. Trevor says I would have had 3 on my March Madness list, but I waited for this reveal. I did too. I waited for this reveal before I put my list together. Because don't get me wrong, it 100% would have had at least 2 of these on there. I think you guys know which 2 those are, because I've kind of already been talking about them a lot. Chad says the no cards thing is annoying. Yeah, it is. No card back for the mint collectors. I'm still gonna buy one to have in the special action figure. Like I'm gonna buy at least the 2, one to have in the box set, and then one to open. Actually, chances are I'll probably be opening. I'll probably pick up more than 2 though, because I mean, again, you can never have like too few Cantina aliens. I mean, it won't hurt to have extras. Who is now on Victoria's most wanted list? Good question, Britt. Are we talking about the Cantina, or are we talking about Star Wars in general? Adam says these will trickle out on cards over the next few years. Holonet says I would have never guessed that Chalman would wear denim. Chad says seems like they really want you to open them. Well, I like that. A premium figure needs a card. Yeah, I can see that. Britt says, is there any weirdness about what card Arleal can be on because of the HasLab? Yeah, so going to what I was saying, I mean, I'm quite certain that that's what the case was here, is that because it would hamper the exclusive, even though it may not have been the same card. Like, I think that probably was the concern. They don't usually put things out from, it doesn't typically happen, that stuff from a HasLab that doesn't, tiers that don't unlock get released. So in that sense, I'm grateful we're even getting Arleal, but I really do think that's why none of these are on cards, was because of that one thing. 90% is an acceptable grade. I would say so. Dodson says, I love how just about every or most of the Cantina figures have sidearm blasters. That is true. However, Kid Cat does not have a blaster. Now, it could be because she cannot arm herself with it. She has praying mantis arms. How's she gonna launch a blaster? There's no way. They'd have to make her something like unique and special. David says, what comes next with Cantina figures? I hope a bunch more. Yeah, keep on coming. I mean, the more the merrier. I'll take any. I mean, I really want Acnina. That's like my most wanted, but I know I'm an outlier there. There's others I really want to. I want Athelo. I want Zizvid. I want remakes of Danik Jericho and Lax Sivrak. I could probably make I should make a top 10 list is what I should do. And then we could talk about it another time. Yeah, no blasters. The aliens don't listen. They don't listen. Trevor says Lax Sivrak is number 1 in his March Madness. Very cool. The boss is here. Yeah. I'll bet you that Wooher is not going to be slacking off while Chelman is on the premises. My headcanon was always that Chelman had like an office in the back of the cantina. So he may have been there in the original film. We just didn't see him because he was like going through like the paperwork or something in the back office. Hedgehog Action says, I ordered the pop-up book off eBay just because of this. Trevor says, I thought it'd be years that we ever got Chelman. I'm glad that you guys are similarly minded to me with regards to Chelman. Yeah, Tales of the Mos Eisley Cantina. I was obsessed with that back in the 90s. Give us more from that. Trevor says, yeah, I always wanted Chelman before Akmina. Sci-Fi Dude says the Wookiee rocks. Brent says he's a cool figure, but I understand some not liking him because he is really obscure, more so than Akmina even. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think he is actually a little more obscure than Akmina. But Ralph McQuarrie did design him. So. Let the Wookiee win. Definite buy for Jay the Grind. You should have had a handlebar and mustache. That'd be funny. Hole in the Ground Productions. Yeah, Hole in the Ground Productions does some amazing stuff. I have a whole wish list of stuff I want to buy from Hole in the Ground. Brent says Steve Evans seemed to indicate it was a budget issue. Either 3 would be carded or 4 not carded. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's what I think it was. Chad says, personal opinion, they're holding out for the 50th, and some of them will be released again in the card. That's a very good possibility. I'm glad you brought that up, Chad, because it could be that. That could happen. Phil says, I agree about the shoes card theory. Trevor says, Hasbro seems to fumble the ball way too often on simple decisions that seem obvious to the community, which is frustrating. Holonet says the next set should be Lisa Serlin, Muftak, Cabe, and Danik Jericho. Yeah, Lisa would be an amazing update to see. And I partially want that to happen because, of course, I interviewed Pam Rose, who portrayed Lisa on Cantina Chatter podcast back in the day, like in 2017 or something, almost 10 years ago now. And yeah, she was really nice. She was cool. She was cool. And also Pam Rose was in Batman 89, in case you didn't know that. Bob says, I was really excited for the Cantina 4-pack, but honestly, I'm a little disappointed. I wanted 4 patrons, and we only got 2. Chelman and Garandon are cool, but I would have preferred 2 more patrons. Yeah, I mean, again, they could, should, and probably will be doing more Cantina aliens. So, let's see. We got Amelia Watson. How's it going? Says, chat, does anyone know if this pack is going to be available on Amazon later on? It's not. It's a Hasbro Pulse / Disney Store online exclusive. So those are the only 2 ways it'll be available. Peacoby one says, dead on. Labria and Garandon again on the card. Phil says, Janik and Muftek and Cabe are very high in my March Madness 25 list. Yeah. Ed says, my Chelman is going to be in the back of the cantina going over tax receipts. That's what I'm saying. That's what he was doing. That's why we don't see him in A New Hope, because he's in the back. Spicy Kool-Aids are affecting Chad's spell check. Understandable. We'll blame that one on Dodgson. He needs to cut you off. Cut him off. Cut him off, Dodgson. Nicholas says, I like the 4-pack. Only problem for me is that the way it was teased as for patrons drinking at the table. Yeah, I could see that. Trevor says Muff Tack is high on his list as well. Muff Tack really is definitely like in need of an update. Really, like, severely. I don't know why they made the Power of the Force 2 one like the way that they did, all big and chunky and stuff. Weird. TVC. So I could share my March Madness, and that'll probably be a clue as to who I want most. Yeah, Mando Michi, I really want Fozek as well. He's not in my top 25, but he'd be in my top 30 for sure. It's great to hear people are buying doubles and triples. I mean, again, Cantina nerd. I'm going to do that regardless of who it is. I won't do that for other stuff, but Cantina, yeah. Oh yeah, big time. I'll do that. B. Arthur for the win. Shaman says no violence in the Cantina, but everybody's packing heat. He also has a private bar. Oh, does he? He's got a private bar in the back where he's entertaining. That's where he serves the high-end stuff. That's where he's entertaining the VIPs, right? Like maybe like the Grand Moffs or the Imperial Senators or, I don't know, the owner of Sail Barge Industries. I have no idea. Helenet says, we need more patron sets. Java's Pal sets too. I agree. One of those hands was serving the drink. Nice. That's actually a really good point. I hadn't thought about that. All right. Cool. Yeah, Cantina set. Good stuff, you guys. Good stuff. Let's move on. Keep the show on the road. All right. Another TVC revealed just yesterday. Out of nowhere. No pulse stream, no convention, nothing like that. This came out of nowhere. And gotta say, it was pretty exciting. Let's look at it. So we're talking about the TVC. 2 figures from the upcoming Maul Shadow Lord animated series. Marok and 11th Brother. I never would have had these on my bingo card, like at all. Like, especially not like, look, just imagining like the next year or so. I never would have thought these would have been on the list. But Inquisitors, which I've said this before, Inquisitors is kind of a silly idea, but they look cool, right? It's a cool looking Sith adjacent type character with a double bladed lightsaber that spins, if you know, in the shows, that work for the Empire. They work for Darth Vader. They're cool. Even if it's a wacky concept, they're cool. They look cool. They're each a little bit unique, but they all have a similar sort of look to them. Hasbro has really missed out on I think they've underserved the Inquisitor crowd in TVC. They've done well in Black Series, of course, but TVC Inquisitor fans have been massively underserved. So these were a huge surprise, even though they did come out of left field. The fact that that these even are a thing is really quite exciting. So this came from Hasbro Pulse yesterday. This is Marok. Of course, Marok plays a bit of a role in Ahsoka season 1, and was made in the Black Series around that time, but was never released in TVC. They did make him in Black Series, right? Or am I misremembering that? Hot Toys made a Marok. Did that ever come out? I didn't pre-order that one, so I don't know. But yeah, Marok. Anyway, it's interesting that it doesn't say like because I think I read earlier that Marok is actually the first brother, which I didn't know. So it's interesting that it just says Marok. Maybe he just goes. Maybe he's the one Inquisitor that goes just by Marok. I don't know, by his name. Card looks nice. It's got the Maul Shadow Lord thing. Notice how the bubble is a little bit extended to accommodate the longer lightsaber. And then look at the figure. He looks great. He looks great. I'm seeing a few differences in the paint. A little bit of a sheen to the armor pieces. Soft goods cape. Unlit lightsaber. Lit lightsaber. Fully articulated. He's getting undressed right there. No, he's probably not. He's probably just clipping on his lightsaber or removing it. And then 11th brother. This one we see in the Tales of the Jedi, the little Ahsoka, one of the little Ahsoka episodes. Also, notice how the bubble is also extended a little bit. This is a really cool one as well. I think they're both really cool. And it makes me wonder, are they going to finish the Inquisitors in TVC at some point? I don't know. I don't know. But I think this is promising. I think this is a good sign. And I would be inclined to think that, yes, eventually, even though it might take a while, they are going to finish the Inquisitors, which is good news if you like Inquisitors. Few unpackaged images. The card back looks cool here. 11th brother. How many of these guys did they have? Was there like 46th brother and 99th sister and 104th brother? Like, I don't know. Yeah, this is a really creepy Inquisitor. When I saw him in that Tales of the Jedi, I was like, whoa, he's creepy. Kind of skeletal, but also kind of like bird-like in a way. I like how the saber clips onto his waist. The hands look a little bit like he's got really big hands. Maybe I need to go back and watch that episode, but he can only grab the lightsaber with one hand. I don't think you could fit both. Yeah, you couldn't fit both of them in there. So that's interesting. What is he doing? Let's see. Let's look at the card. He's got, does he have both hands on the card? I don't know. Might just be one. It is a really cool looking figure though. The soft goods looks nice. It looks like it's got a weighty hem to it. The sewing on the sides. I'm excited for these. They weren't on my bingo card. They weren't on my radar, but yeah, again, people buy the cool looking bad guy, even if it's something like an Inquisitor. Like, they look cool, right? People are going to buy them. I think these are going to do just fine. I think these are going to do just fine. Let's see. Britt says, y'all on TVC eating good for the new Maul show. I know, right? What happened there? That's weird because usually it's Black Series that gets all the new stuff. Although I guess these aren't really technically new, right? We got a repacked Maul. And then these are could possibly be from, Marok could be from Ahsoka, right? You could come on an Ahsoka card. 11th brother could be on a Tales of the Jedi card, right? But they're not. Brent says, appropriate to drop these since it's Maul Shadow Lord. Nicholas is excited for them. Marok pre-rust and pre-dust. Yeah. Sci-Fi Dude is excited. Holonet says, Dark Force users, so many of them lately, which I love. That's true. Alex wants both of them. David says they are cool looking. Sci-Fi Dude says more red lightsabers. Adam says, Emily said these two are her work, along with most of what we will see in 2026. They are beautiful. That's awesome to know. I didn't realize that. Thank you. Britt says that, oh, that's right. The Black Series Marok is orange, isn't he? I forgot about that. I have that figure. I think I have that figure. I'm pretty sure I do. Chat is indifferent. I know they are new, but $20. I'm struggling, even though they are new to be continued. Trevor says they look great. Britt says maybe the Grand Inquisitor doesn't like him having first in his name and bullies him not to use it. I could kind of see that. Adam says in that pose he's reaching back to release some excess green. I love it. Mary can't wait for Mall Shadow Lord. I know, I'm excited for it too. These figures actually make me more excited, which this is one of the things, right? Toys always make me more excited for a TV show or a movie or what have you before we've seen the TV show or the movie. That's how it always was in the old days. You would see the toys on the shelf and they would make you more excited for the movie. So I'm glad that these are making me more excited for Shadow Lord. Alex says, VC, it's a trip. Both of these Inquisitors fought Ahsoka. That is true. And it seems like maybe they're both going to fight Maul, who also fought Ahsoka. And they all lost to Ahsoka, all three of them, too. So that makes Ahsoka like the king, right? The goat. Trevor says, Marok was almost on my March Madness. Glad he'll make room on the bracket for another character. Fortress Inquisitorius. That is the silliest name, I feel like. Fortress Inquisitorius. It is a really silly name. But yes, I know that's what it's called. That is what it's called. Britt says they jumped right to 73 for the next Inquisitor. Really throws us off. Sci-Fi Dude says, love that we're getting carded figures from Shadow Lord. Britt says one turned to dust and the other deflated like a balloon. That is true, isn't it? That is so true. Why did he deflate like a balloon? I still don't get what happened there. It was bizarre. It was so bizarre. Whatever deflated from the 11th brother went inside of Marok. So they're the same thing. They share the same soul. How about that? That's my headcanon now. Ed says, I agree about the Inquisitors. I don't really care about them individually as characters, but they look great as a group and make sense as a concept. Ahsoka has that effect on Inquisitors. Yeah, an alternate hand would have been nice. I agree, Trevor. The Bizarro Waltons. Big dysfunctional family. That's funny. Would Darth Maul Shadow Lord be better in live action? I mean, yeah, of course it would. Rick says, Hot Toys alongside Star Wars Media, simple and effective. Yeah, definitely. Ahsoka says, I am no Jedi, and it really messes with their heads. I think it does, Britt. She's her own thing. Ahsoka the goat. Marok is a night sister at Magic. All right. Cool. Well, that is going to complete our segments, which is going to take us to, and I know I said this was going to go about an hour or about to hit 2 hours. That is going to take us into the one and only new acquisitions.
Good. New acquisitions.
So let's do it. Tell me what you've gotten recently in the chat. I will read through them and we'll see what you guys have been acquiring into your collections. And I will share a few of mine to kick us off. So please let me know what you've gotten as of late that you'd like to tell us about. I'm going to jump back to my Instagram because I can show you some of them here. These are not going to be all of them, but I can show you some. So obviously I talked about these droids earlier. I picked those up at Disneyland at the beginning of January. I finally got the Artisan Hot Toys Jack Sparrow, which was like one of my most wanted. It was like one of my so I had the DX38 and it was sealed, but I really wanted the DX39 Artisan. So I sold the 38 and then I bought the 39, and I got him on display as soon as he came in. Jack Sparrow is easily like one of my top 5 favorite characters like of all time from any movie, any franchise. And I love the figure. He's perfect. He's incredible. And yeah, I got him. He was like, I think that was my last post of 2025 was this acquisition here. Just a fantastic piece. Easily one of my top 5 favorite Hot Toys. Let's see. I believe. Okay, I may not have. Okay, so last time we did Social Hour, I don't think I had these, but I don't think I shared pictures of them. So these are the Sideshow Cantina Scum and Villainy. There's 5 of them so far. Notice that Hasbro has done 2 of them in the same exact in the 4-pack that's coming up. Which is just, I'm just saying that's interesting. Plus, they also re-released Dr. Evazan and Ponda Baba, and Greta is getting re-released through Hasbro. But anyway, these are really nice. But the ankles on them kind of are not that good. They're kind of weak sauce. So figures look good. The Ponda Baba is actually really nice. See, that's what the TVC one needs, is a big head like that. He needs a properly scaled head. Dr. Evazan is nice, but he is very dark skinned. I know we talked about that before. I don't know why he turned out like that. Garandan is really nice. I really like the poncho thing. And then, okay, so this is kind of a weird. These are kind of weird, but anyway, you may know that Hasbro is doing the 12-inch Titan series. And these are, they've been doing these Titan series for ages now, but now they're more articulated than they used to be. And they still cost $11, which isn't bad. They're not super articulated, but they're decently articulated. You can get them some pretty good poses. Not the greatest figures. And the cape is kind of lame on this Vader, but pretty good. There's also a Darth Maul, and there's a Mandalorian as well. This is another weird one. This is the these are the Actionverse figures. They're 4.5-inch scale, so they're a little bit bigger. This Darth Vader is really weird. This is one of the weirdest, most wackiest Darth Vaders I've ever bought. But it's actually kind of fun in a weird way. So he comes with all these clip-on pieces that you can clip on him and do weird stuff. Like really, like it's just really bizarre. But it's actually kind of fun at the same time. Like, what I like is you can position these pieces in different spots to make him do stuff like this, which is just ridiculous. It's really over the top. Proportions, of course, are really funny, but you do get a weapons rack, kind of reminiscent of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Just saying, kind of cool. There's also a Stormtrooper, which I have not yet gone, but the Darth Vader, Darth Vader is my favorite, so of course I had to pick that up. Just a little thing here. This isn't a new acquisition, but my Hot Toys Last Jedi Rey. I used the rocks from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I put her with his display base, and it actually looks really nice. I got the latest wave of TVC, which includes the Shadow Lord Maul. Like, I got the whole wave, which is right here. It has Chimere, it's got Padme, Shakti, Maul, and Emperor's Wrath Vader. And I'll be honest, I haven't opened any of them. I just haven't had a chance. I've had them for weeks, haven't opened them yet. This is one of my favorite Mattel Jurassic World releases ever. It is their reimagined Legacy Collection Triceratops. This is their best Triceratops they've done. It's got the real feel skin. It's bigger than the Hammond Collection one, but not quite as big as the Ocean Protector or Ocean Defender, whatever it was called. Actually, I don't think that's at all what it was called, but the one that was used with recycled plastic, they had a really big Triceratops. It was nice, but it's too big. This is their best one. It makes sounds. It's just got a really cool sculpt to it. Really, really nice. Easily the most Kenner-esque of their Triceratops. Oh, and here's the Spin Master Batmobile I was talking about earlier. The box is the really the best thing about it, honestly, because it looks like the Kenner the Dark Knight collection. Again, it's the same as the Spin Master, the Flash, but it has less paint. But now it has pop-on guns. That's the back. So this is the Flash one on the left, more paint, and then the Batman 89 on the right, less paint. It's a one-seater, and the figure is kind of meh. I don't know why the suit is gray. I don't know why he's got the wrong logo on his bat logo. Here are a couple of pictures of me in Walt Disney's office. I was talking about this at the top of the show. And it was a dream come true. It felt very special to do that. I showed you guys my Mezco stuff earlier. Love it. And then this week I got my Terminator 2 from Hot Toys, the battle damage version. See, I didn't have a single Terminator Hot Toy, and I really wanted one. And I think this was probably the right one to get because I didn't. They have the regular non-battle damage one, but I really wanted to see some of the parts, some of the T800 parts. And luckily, he's got an interchangeable head. But the lightness on this one, this is the less damage of the two heads, but they're both really cool. One of them has the red light up eye. But yeah, that head sculpt is just killer. And they're using actual genuine leather for the jacket, which is nice. So hopefully it doesn't flake off. Hopefully it doesn't like get damaged. But yeah, it's a really nice figure. Really nice. So now I have a Terminator and I'm pretty happy. I don't need another. Although it would be cool to have Sarah Connor if they ever did one. It would be cool to have the T1000, but you know, again. Anyway, I have a couple things to show you guys here. So let me show you some other things that I've gotten recently. Oh, I did get a hot toy earlier this week that I haven't posted images of, but I will. I'm not going to say what it is. I will show you that I finally finished the Batman Returns. Nerdzoic was running a sale with this and then some other, I think it was two or three other random DC figures. And I ended up with, of course, I knew that I was going to get these guys. And I think it was 2 comic book based DC figures. I didn't really know too much about them. There was a Batman and there was some other character. And I ended up it was during the holidays. So I donated them to Toys for Tots. But I kept the Penguin Commando. So I finally have these. And that completed my set for me. Batman Returns. And then this one came in. I haven't posted a picture of it, but I did get the Zatanna with the chimp. And this isn't the variant one, I don't think. Back of the box is pretty cool. Yeah, she looks fun. Got that. Let's see, what else do I have here? Only other thing I think I have is going to be, I just started reading this. So I'm not really into comics. I think I've talked about this before. I'm not really into comics, even if it's Star Wars. But I became aware of, so I rewatched the sequel trilogy during the holidays, and there's things that I enjoy about them. I found out about this comic series pretty recently. So earlier this week, I went ahead and bought this. It's the Legacy of Vader. It's the reign of Kylo Ren. It takes place between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. And I'm very early into it. I've only read a couple pages because I've been too busy to read it this week, but I'm eager to get through this because it seems like a really interesting story. So there's Kylo in the back. Yeah, got it from Amazon. So if you're interested in that, check that out. That'll be some of my weekend reading this weekend. And those are my acquisitions. Now I want to see your acquisitions. So let me go back into the chat and see what we got here. I can tell my voice is wanting to take a break. So let's get through those comments and then we'll wrap things up. Dodson says, "My time to shine." And Britt, here's the tippy tap dance. Yep. All right. Cool. David got the 4-pack of Snow Troopers. Very nice. Brent got the latest TVC, Padme Chimera Shakti. Awesome. Alex says, VC, did you ever get the 97 Sentinel? No, I did not. Is it still in stock? I did not buy it. I know you guys are trying to influence me to buy it. I haven't done it. Adam says, a variety of new TVC and Black Series. Also got my Sideshow Spaghetti Rook, and he's great. He looks so cool. I think the Jabba's Palace Scum and Villainy look better than the Cantina Scum and Villainy. But I'm not buying any of the Jabba's Palace because, I got to call it at the Cantina. I really do. PW1, I got some Funko Pops, Micro Galaxy Squadron, the first Droid Depot, and some G.I. Joe Classified. Very nice. Sci-Fi Dude, I picked up TVC Padme, Shakti, Maul, and The Stranger. Dodgen says, okay, here's my haul from late December and January. All were split from flea markets, slot meets, and eBay. But I'll share the slot meet stuff first. Okay, I'll be looking for your post. Dodgson. Mando Mitchie says, bought a vintage Kenner Ewok village in mail away. Kenner Boba Fett. Very nice. Received the latest TVC releases too. Awesome. Helenet1 says, I got 9 Imperial Armored Commandos for $8 each. That is a deal. Another Bibport tuner for $5. Balin Skull, Padme, Shakti. Trevor picked up Shakti, Chimera, and another Jetpack Trooper for $10. Mary says, TVC Shakti and the Stranger Hot Toys, K2SO. Snow Trooper Commander, Batman Armory with Bruce Wayne, 2.0, and T2 T800 clean version. Ooh, nice. You got the clean version, and I got the battle damage version. You also mentioned something in there that is an acquisition for me, but again, I haven't posted images yet, so I'm going to wait before I say what it is. Britt says, most exciting is TVS Chimera. Love him. An assortment of Black Series, Fancy Krennic, ISB, Agent Ronin, Purity Ezra, Paz Vizsla, and latest way is a Jazzor's Total Anime line. You've been doing pretty well there, Britt. I like it. Nicholas got the TVC Stranger, Padme, and Shakti just before Christmas, and R5K6 last week. Nice. PW1 says, Actionverse is lame. Sorry. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I try to find something to like about it. I just love toys too much. That's my problem. I love toys too much. That's my issue. No, any acquisitions, Holland? Any acquisitions here? Allison says, my acquisition isn't Star Wars related. I picked up some minifig parts to complete the dark blue and most of the light blue space minifigs, classic style. Dodgen says, let's kick off my swap meet finds. January 3rd at the same booth, I found Jurassic Park 3 Aqua Spino, JP Dinosaur 2004 Triceratops. That's a good one. JP Dinosaur 2005 Triceratops. Another good one. And Mattel Nedry Jeep for $12. Very good. Sci-Fi Dude says, I'm going to pre-order TVC Marok and 11th Brother next Friday. Alex says, I received my Mezco version Nightwing. Ooh, nice. Dodgen says, January 17th swap meet. I found Jurassic Park $1, Crouching Coelophysis, and taking JPTR for $2. I don't know how you do it, Dodgen. Those are some stellar deals. Florida Keys Pirate, how's it going? Says, thanks for the reminder about the 5 points Batman figures. I ordered the 3-pack in the Batmobile from EE. Wave 2 is pre-sold out everywhere I looked except Big Bad Toy Store. I got that order in also. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, after Wave 1 came out, the pre-order for Wave 2 pre-sold out. People are digging this stuff. They're really digging this stuff. Sci-Fi Dude says, the Sin Master Batmobile is awesome. It is. Dodgen says, the January 24th, Deacon Velociraptor, JP2 Series 1 Pteranodon, JP Dinosaur 2004, Cyclops Raptor, and a JP Series 2 Utah Raptor box. Just the box for $17. I don't know how this guy does it. Joshin says there was a JP Red Rex box for $20, but a kid beat me to the punch. It was cool though. At least he gets to enjoy the box. Those are some of my favorite packaging of all time. The Kenner JP, like the back, how they always had the dioramas on those bigger dinosaurs. Love that. I wish I could go back in time to see when they were taking those photos. I'd love to have those dioramas in my home, actually. Yeah, Sin Master was just okay. Not worth $30 for sure. Mary got both. Ooh, the clean and battle damage. Can't blame you there. Can't fault you there. Glad you're back. Love you, friend. Gots to go. Thank you, Chad, for being here. We appreciate you. We'll raise a Mr. Pibb to you right here. Let's see. Dodgen says, and finally, January 31st swap meet. I uncovered a Jaws reaction Hooper complete. I want to say for $5. Wow, that's a good deal. Could have been less, but yeah. Good haul. Great stuff there, Dodge. Thank you for sharing. Alex wants my penguins. Britt says, Legacy of Vader is so good. Thank you. I'm glad that I'm looking forward to getting through it. I'm glad to hear that. Joshin says, eBay. Oh, Joshin, you got more? Recent pickups, JP 1999 Ornithosuchus for $20 plus $5 shipping, and a Lost World Young Rex with dino damage for $30 and $8 shipping. Not bad. Not bad. That is a good young Rex. Not a very common one either. I have it, but not with the dino damage. And I think mine was from eBay too, from like a lot for really cheap. I got it like in 2012. Adam says, you are ready to stock your own... yeah, he is. He's ready to stock his own island. Allison says, something not acquisition. If you haven't looked up to the full length Xfinity Jurassic Park commercial. Yes, I have seen that. It is good. I don't like the de-aging, though. I think it looks kind of AI-ish. I know it's not AI. They said it's not AI, but that Xfinity Jurassic Park commercial, I wish it would have done it without the de-aging. I think they looked great in the behind the scenes, just normal, like the way they are now. I would have preferred that, but that's just me. They wanted to spend the money on de-aging. That's fine. Ed says Shakti and Padme. Floriki's Pirate says just grab Padme also. And the transforming dog pop from the thing. Huh, sounds interesting. Joshin's ready to close up, asking for last minute drink orders. Last call. And I got Padme Shakti and R5K6 for a mere 1600 Saz. But Maddox says the last item to pick up last year was Clone Wars Ahsoka Jedi Starfighter from the Legacy Collection. If so, that is one of my favorite vehicles from the Jedi Starfighters. It's a very rare one too. So if so, then that's awesome. Ed says you get your tax refund earlier. Something. Let's see. Trevor says, question. I was at GameStop today and saw 3 TVC items coming. 2 may be releases, but 1 may be new. Job as Court Denizens is likely the old pack, but 1 is just labeled Job is set for $106. Yeah, they re-released those. They did re-release those, and they're more expensive now. So yeah, that's what that is. Phil says, I literally just got a doorbell ring. The mailman bringing me my latest acquisition. I love it. More acquisitions. I mean, even last minute ones. I mean, yeah, we want more, right? We'll take more wherever we can get them. Nice. Britt says they were too busy asking if they could de-age. They didn't stop to ask if they should. I love it. In a nutshell, yes. Starship class minimum over $30. Any guesses? Puppets need to go potty. Oh, the dog. Oh, my dog. Yes, she's right. She's actually, it's not, she's been in here with me for the last 2 hours and 17 minutes as I've been streaming. and she's ready to. My door's closed, so she's ready to get out of here. Probably go get some carrots or something. The soda fountain is closed. Thank you, Dodgson. We appreciate your attention here to the cantina. Yeah, so I think those are all the acquisitions. It looks like that. Come here, come say hi. That'll cover it. I'm trying to bring this little girly up here to say hi to you guys. Real quick. Oh, sorry. Here she is. Say hello to the Cantinians. Say hi. Tell them you were one of the original Cantinians too, because you're always in here while I'm doing this. I wouldn't have it any other way than to have this little girl hanging out with me, my little bestie here, while I'm doing my live stream. So thank you guys for hanging out with me and my doggy. All right, I'll take you outside in just a minute. I'm going to wrap up right now, okay? Promise. I'm going to wrap up right now. All right. And that'll do it for tonight's show, you guys. Definitely went longer than I thought. But I'm going to head out because I need to get to bed. Like I said, Disneyland tomorrow, and I'm planning on getting out of the house by 5:30. I want to beat traffic to Anaheim and not be stuck in traffic and miss rope drop. I want to get there like right when the park opens. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. It is great to be back. It's been a nice, really relaxing month off from doing the show, but at the end of the day, there is nothing like hanging out in the cantina with my Cantinians, talking about toys, talking about the latest collectibles news, talking about new acquisitions, talking about the things that we love and adore and that keep us happy in trying times. And that is the absolute reality. These are trying times. And I think we need any sort of little positivity we can get. So, toys offer that for a lot of us. They help us to keep looking to the bright side of things, and they give us a little bit of hope, I feel like, in a weird way. So thank you guys. I hope that this stream has brought a little positivity into your day and into your week. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week as well for Cantina Social Hour. Same time, same channel, same place. Next Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. I do plan on having a guest on. So I will see you guys next week. Once again, thank you. It's great to be back with new vibes and revitalized energy. And again, be kind, spread positivity. And thank you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate you guys. It's been fun. It's been a blast. And thank you for the comments about the dog. Thank you very much. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Have a great rest of your week, great weekend. And stay warm if you're in a really cold place, and stay positive. Hold on to that light and just try to spread as much of it out into the universe as possible. No matter where you're tuning in from and the galaxy, my friends, thank you for watching Cantina Social Hour. Be well, be safe. May the force be with you. And we will see you next week. Bye, everybody.